Good evening. It is Monday, September 9th, and it is 6 p.m. for the regular school board meeting of Lake County School Board. We're going to start this meeting off with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. All right, rolling right in. Item 2, ask the board, superintendent, any changes, amendments, additions, or deletions to the agenda tonight?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Madam Superintendent?
We do need to pull item 10.01 from the agenda. This item may be coming back to you later, but it is not ready for this evening. And an addendum was added today to item 9.01, and you have a copy of that provided.
All right. Any objections to those changes, board?
No, sir.
All right, moving on. Item 3.0, approval of the minutes. Superintendent?
Recommend approval of the minutes from the school board workshop, August 19th, 2024, and the executive session for collective bargaining on August 19th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Dr. Luke. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Representation, we do have a proclamation tonight, item 4.01, Attendance Awareness Month. Mr. Rob Feltner.
All right, good evening. Thank you. A proclamation of September 2024 as Attendance Awareness Month. Whereas the nation is experiencing a school absenteeism crisis, and whereas chronic absence, defined as missing 10% or more of school, alerts schools, community partners, and families that one or more positive conditions for learning are not in place. And whereas reducing chronic absence requires taking a comprehensive approach that starts with prevention and early intervention. And whereas improving attendance and engagement takes schools, families, elected leaders, and other community partners working together to identify and address barriers to being in school. And whereas showing up for school is an opportunity for students to build routines that create a sense of safety and belonging, increase engagement, and develop trusting relationships with peers, teachers, and school staff that increase engagement and motivate them to participate in learning. And whereas promoting attendance requires noticing as soon as possible when students are starting to miss too much school in order to engage students and families, identify and offer needed support and early intervention resources. And whereas ensuring an equal opportunity to learn requires using data to detect high levels of absenteeism and missed opportunities to learn at school, grade, and student population. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lake County Schools stand with the nation in recognizing September as Attendance Awareness Month. We hereby commit to focusing on reducing absenteeism and addressing the factors that cause students to miss school in order to ensure all children have an opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. In the testimony whereof, the School Board of Lake County, Florida, has hereunto subscribed their names and has caused the official seal of Lake County School Board to be and hereto affixed on the 9th day of September 2024. A copy of the proclamation is hereby placed in the archive record of this board.
Thank you, Mr. Feltner. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I do. I recommend approval of the proclamation for Attendance Awareness Month, September 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, a second by Mr. Dodd. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Thank you very much. All right, moving on. Public input. Ms. Challenger, do we get any cards? Anybody from the audience like to speak tonight? All right, moving on. 6.01, Ms. Carmen Cullen-Batt.
Good evening, School Board Superintendent. I have distributed an impact report to you. You'll note that the foundation invested $2,151,227 in Lake County schools in the 23-24 school year. That's the highest that we've ever been able to invest. Apple Mart has had 234 teacher visits, and we've distributed $36,000. The first New Worlds Reading event is tomorrow night at Rhymes, and we have 103 guests that are pre-registered. Disney sent pallets of costumes last week, and the drama teachers that work with the Renaissance Fair cast have been invited to go through the costumes on Wednesday of this week. And then next Wednesday, all the drama teachers in the district are invited to come grab costumes, shop for free. Disney is also sending us 30 pallets of toys and plushies and apparel. We are working with Student Services to get the donation distributed, and something kind of tells me that a lot of children are going to have a very magical Disney holiday. Take Stock was awarded $12,600 from the Lake County Children's Services Council. The Scott Strong Golf Tournament will be held at Harbor Hills on October the 11th. It, of course, is sold out, and Hans and Kay Jacobson Foundation are the presenting sponsors again this year. Auditions were held on August 24th for our Renaissance cast, and we have over 140 students that were selected to go into the cast this year. And last Saturday, they started the rehearsals. These students will volunteer every Saturday for 3 hours between now and the fair, learning the history, the culture, their roles, and learning how to participate with the patrons. The Marion S. Shuck Scholarship Trust will serve as the presenting sponsor for the Renaissance Fair this year. And we have had over 100 vendors apply for 76 spaces already. We've already sold over $5,000 worth of advanced tickets. And so we are working with the county, the sheriff's office, our own internal safety department, and EMS to ensure that we have a safe Renaissance Fair this year and to ensure for parking. The dates are November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th, with the first being Education Day. Our next board meeting is September 25th at noon in the district office, and we will be installing Megan McMuldoff. She is an attorney with the Campion and Hackney as a new board member. Are there any questions? No. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you, Carmen, very much. Mr. Cole?
No report.
All right, moving right along. Unfinished business, we have none. Consent agenda. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I recommend approval of the consent agenda items 8.01 to 9.03 and 10.02 to 10.06.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Dr. Luke. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. All right, moving on to discussion, item 11.01. Superintendent?
Final approval, so I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Cole.
Yes, ma'am. So we have, at this point, we're going to open up the public hearing for consideration of the final approval of option 9, attendance boundary adjustments for the 2025-26 school year. Do we have any public comment? Seeing none, I close the public hearing.
Superintendent?
Recommend final approval of option 9, attendance boundary adjustments for the 2025-26 school year.
So moved.
Second. Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Mr. Dodd. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Superintendent's report.
We had no letters of condolence that were sent since our last meeting. I did want to recognize our wonderful Construction Academy students. Leesburg High School's group last week celebrated the start of their 6th home with Habitat for Humanity. I'm going to thank Habitat for their continued partnership. We've had some great success stories from our Academy students. Some of those were shared last week, as some of them are getting very nice jobs when they're graduating, and some of them are already working after school hours and in the summer hours, making high-wage jobs. So excited about the continued work of these construction academies. And we have Eustis Highs coming up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So if that's not on your calendar, you can get up nice and early and get to Eustis. We can celebrate that groundbreaking as well. Also, just want to thank Romac Building Supply and First National Bank of Mount Dora for their continued support of this partnership with Habitat as well. And on Thursday, the crew of the new Mineola K-8 school will be having their topping out ceremony. I think it's at 10? No, it's not at 10.
It's at noon.
I think it's noon, I think, sounds
I
right.
think it's at noon too, because I don't think I can make it because I have class at 1.
I have 11:30.
11:30, there you go, that's what I've
Sometime
got
around
as
that
well.
timeframe.
We have 10.
Somewhere in that,
We have noon,
yeah.
we have 11:30.
11:30, locking it in, yeah.
11:30, all right. 11:30 wins. We'll be
Yes.
there at 11:30 for the topping out
Mr.
on,
Matthias said it's at 7 a.m.
Okay. Turn his mic off.
I think we've already decided. And then lastly, just want to let our parents know, if you have juniors and seniors who have a qualifying grade point average, they're invited to attend the Historically Black College University Week. They have a college fair at the Disney Worldwide World of Sports next month, and more than 40 universities are expected to be present with some offering, and they'll be offering some four-year scholarships for students on the spot. We had some students attended last year and walked away with scholarships. It's a really great opportunity for these students. Transportation and lunch will be provided, and families will get more information about this event on our website. So if you're interested and want to send your student over to the event, check out our website.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mathias?
Just a quick shout out to everyone that had prayers for me last week. I had surgery, 4.5 hours. It was expected I'd have another one on the 25th. Fortunately, they were able to get everything done in the first one, so it's all done, and it's all by the power of prayer. So I want to thank everyone for the prayers and good thoughts. And wait, I did have one last one. So hearing Carmen's report in the Renaissance Fair, it brought to mind a phone call I received, and just as I was driving up to the hospital at Shands, and it was from Jim Miller. And Jim Miller, every year apparently, or every election cycle, he goes on a quest for signs. And he uses those to reinforce his work, that he puts things together. And he had found the mother lode. There was a truck that was bound for Chicago. The person was unsuccessful for Senate, and he had pallets of 4x8 signs. And he had unloaded them in case when they got the truck repaired, it would move on. And my people picked them up today. But for Jim and his determination for all these years, he needs to be recognized from this dais as a true supporter of education and a leader in the community. So that's it. And we got some signs.
Thank you, Mr. Mathias. Dr. Luke?
I wanted to give a quick shout out to Mr. Fender, who is really responsive. I know they've been having some issues with the transportation. I don't even think I could say everybody's names that has been involved with today's kickoff, but today was the first day that we had our Lake Sumter State College elementary education students substitute teaching in the elementary schools that have been identified as a district for our first practicum. Super excited that we were kind of going through the impact list, and just with the number of schools that have partnered with us and the principals that have partnered with us so far, it's literally like 15 schools between the practicum schools, and then we're having a professional development day coming up on September 23rd with the Rio Cole Academy, and knowing what's happening. It's incredible the way that the district has wrapped their arms around supporting and training teachers that will hopefully come here whenever they graduate. So the Grow Your Own initiative, we're really starting to see the fruits of the labor. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody from Mr. Zamora down. I know it's trickled through that department and all the way down. And Mr. Feltner, your department has been super, extremely super in helping set a lot of these things up and making connections for us. And so we are grateful. I think it will reap benefits to the school district here in Lake County, and I'm excited about the opportunities that are coming. And then the last thing I wanted to say, I had two things. The Peacock grant is going to happen, so a registered apprenticeship opportunity with Lake Sumter State College is going to be submitted, tomorrow. Dr. Myers is amazing. I don't know how she does the work that she does, and does it so well, everything she does. And so it's been a pleasure to work with her as well. And then the last thing I was going to say was to Carmen before she left. This is incredible. The graph on the bottom of page 3 that shows what the programmatic breakdown is. For her events, it's only 2.6% of the things that they do, but yet it generates almost 50% of the revenue broken down. So like to your point, just the size and the impact of her events alone is just amazing. So she's amazing. And I just wanted to reiterate that. That's it.
Could you just really quickly just tell them about what the Peacock
Yes.
grant
Peacock. I know,
is?
it sounds like you're saying peacock.
I
It's
know,
not
but I'm not
peacock.
sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, so it's a Pathways Career Grant opportunity. So it's provided every year by the Florida Department of Education, and it is an opportunity for us to develop an apprenticeship program. We identified the greatest need as being exceptional student education teachers. The Florida Department of Education identified that as the #1 need in the state of Florida, and it's true here as well as in Sumter County. And so this initiative would bring dollars for us to look at starting an exceptional student education bachelor's program at Lake Sumter State. And with the apprenticeship program, it's tuition-free. Like, we can't, the students aren't charged anything. So when we talk about barriers associated with pursuing a degree in education and the amount of tuition that we charge versus the salary upon completion, so this is one of the governor's initiatives to create these barrier-free pathways, and Lake Hills has been identified along with Dr. Myers as what would be an amazing place to train teachers so that we could then have exceptional, more exceptional education teachers out in our buildings. And so it's an exciting opportunity. It's a scary lift when you think about not charging for instruction and what the college's investment and what Lake County Schools and Sumter County Schools' potential investment might be in that. But I do think the collective vision to open up the access to education as a workforce opportunity for people that are very interested. We did some polling. First of all, this district should be super proud of the work they've done already. Kiana Peterson shared some numbers, and they have recruited 599 non-instructional people between substitutes and teachers' assistants over the last 5 years into our classrooms with a 70% retention rate in the last 3 years. So they're already doing this work. So that was one of the key points, that we have people in this district that are working in our schools already that want to become teachers. And so how can we support them in doing that? So this grant will give us some funds and some opportunities to use that. And Gateway Education, which I had never heard of before, fell out of the sky from God into my lap, and they partner with districts to write grants that will help support apprenticeship programs so that the school districts don't have to have the heavy load of carrying this, which has been another complication that we've kind of stumbled over. And so they've been super helpful this week, for the last 2 weeks, in supporting us in writing the grant. So it's a significant grant. I hope that we'll get it. We have lots of work to do. If we do get it, there's lots of things that are out there, but we certainly appreciate your support in that. And like I said, Dr. Myers' support, it's been incredible. And I do think that it would bring potential teachers, lots of potential teachers here to Lake County. So
Thank you for your work on that and your leadership to, already in the short time this program and you've been in this role, the impacts are just incredible. And so we're excited about that. And certainly there's no better place to train our teachers than at Lake Hills. So very excited about that opportunity. Thank you for sharing that.
thank you for your vision in that. So if you guys didn't know, it was kind of her idea. So
Mr. Dodd.
Well done, well done, well done. Now, I just want to give my thanks to Mr. Mabry. You know, before this meeting, we had the executive session on safety and security, so unfortunately, that's not one that's open to the public. But I just want to express my gratitude and thanks for everything that you and your department do, because I think that it's easy for us as board members to feel confident in the work and to understand that Lake County truly is a leader in this area. Completely innovative, and so anyway, thanks for all the work that you all are doing, as I think it just comes out to shine there when we have these sorts of sessions and we get a chance to ask some tough questions and get some good answers back. So anyway, thank you for that.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, that was short tonight. Thank you, Mr. Dodd. I want to second those comments about Mr. Fender. I don't know how he does what he does in transportation. He is incredible in every sense. He's responsive. He gets resolutions done quickly, and I just can't thank Scott Fender enough for all that he does managing that monumental task. Wanted to also give a shout out to, I wasn't able to attend, but one of our construction partners, DACG, donated a new covered pavilion to Lake Hills School that they unveiled last week. They've been an incredible partner. They're building Fruitland Park Elementary. They've done a ton of other small projects for us and just continue to really give back. It was a big part of their presentation to us, and they continue to deliver on that every day. Just want to thank them for that. And lastly, wanted to thank Chad Farnsworth. Since he accepted this new role of facilities and operations, I'm sure he's been to 20 or 30 campuses already, getting eyeballs on things, and really looking at minor repairs and things that we can streamline a little bit better. So his leadership, along with Gary Rogers, Calvin Wingo, and their teams, has been extraordinary. So Chad, thank you for what you're doing there. We've got a lot more to visit, but I know you'll keep on top of it and keep it rolling. That's all I've got tonight. Superintendent, anything else? Mr. Cole? All right, we're adjourned.